Счастлив никогда я не был, согрела душу ты мою. Тот день, когда тебя я встретил, с тех пор
I'm gonna try my best. That song was our song. I made a little picture in a frame with a little sound card in it where I recorded that, and you hit a button and it would play it. Um, I mean, I knew that it was over between us, and she had told me that she was planning on going back, but I didn't know when. She didn't tell me, and then we stopped talking, and I reached out a bunch of times because I'm just completely insane, and um, I could not get over and move on. And when I saw uh, that they were leaving the country, I assumed they're going back to Ukraine. That's all I know. Um, she never let me post pictures of us online, and it with American dating and all that, that's like a big red flag, you know. But uh, her culture, it's just taboo. And now, because she just didn't want to people think that she was a whore or whatever. So, and now she's gone. Like I don't even know she ever watched any of these. So, um, I've sent her a couple messages and she's read them, but I still haven't got anything back. Uh, the only thing I can think of that makes me feel any bit better is the reason she won't respond is because it hurts. Um, she doesn't want the attachment, and I understand, and I wish I could be that strong, but I really think she was my soulmate from the first time I met her. There was just something, some connection that we had, and whenever I was around her, it just felt right, like that I was home. For a year, I had everything that I never even knew I wanted. I had a family. Um, it's hard to describe because it's I have a kid and I had a wife, not at the same time though. And it just felt like we were actually a family, like mom, dad, daughter. And as quick as it came, it left. And it's been 5 months, and I know a lot of people like it would have just, oh well, you knew it wasn't going to last, and I've heard that, and it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. And I'm trying my best. I was a little bit better, really, just a little bit better about everything, and I was getting there. Um, and then this just set me back, and that happens. It really does. Like, there are setbacks, but this is just it puts everything that I dream for and hope for my life just into question because yeah, I was wanting to, get my own place and all that, for myself. But there's part of me that was hoping that that would meant that we could have been together and for as long as we could. But now it's not going to happen. Uh, I I do want to tell everybody about her, but it's hard. It's really hard because it's all good stuff, but knowing that I'm never gonna have that with her again sucks. And I know, like, I might find someone else that might be better. I don't know how. Uh, I mean, maybe someone that actually like speaks fluent English, but I that didn't even bother me. Like we just understood each other. We just knew what we were both trying to say, and I I I don't know how to continue. Like I don't know how to plan my life right now because it's not like I had everything pivoting on that or on her. It's just knowing that I had that and I was so hopeful that I could have that again. And now, no, it's not going to happen. Um, I met her through a dating app, and it I just didn't it didn't really make sense at first. I thought it was a scam or something like that because she was just so nice and so called me handsome and I asked her if she wanted to meet. She's like yes. She's like I've never wanted to meet somebody off this before until you and I was still hung up on somebody else and when we went and met, that's all we talked about for like I think it was like an hour was this other person. And she was grilling me about her and saying, oh yeah, I can tell you really love her. I'm like, no, no. Because I was trying to my best to move on from that because that was not love that I had for them. Um, and she was just so helpful. Like she was trying her best. Like, oh, I'll. She wrote me something to send to them, and well, if it doesn't work out, I would like to date you because I like you. And I'm like, well, wait, what? And it just threw me for a loop. Like I've never had someone that was that forward about it. So I met her again and I was like, no, we're not talking about the blonde because that's what she called her, the blonde. So we met up at Starbucks again and sat there and talked for like an hour about our lives and our interests and all that. We had so much in common, like our favorite movies, and she rode motorcycles, and I did too. And she was so interested in all my stories. Like sometimes she didn't even understand what I was saying, but she just loved like staring at me while I was talking. Um, she was the only person I've ever been with that really showed me like actual love. And like it wasn't even like like I can't even describe it. It was just knowing that she loved me, um, kept me going through the day. Knowing that I had her with me or had her by my side was just it made everything better. Like, I would be sad about something and stressed out, and I would think of her and be like, "Oh yeah," and then, um, it's just it sucks. It really does. And I know there's a part of me that it's just because of my ADHD and because of my attachment style and blah blah and then. But I would rather keep the hope that it was I met someone that really was really a connection. Um, and I have the title, the wife that almost was, because I was prepared to marry her. I wanted to so badly because it just felt like we already were. Um, After my divorce, I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not letting someone into my heart that much. And then I met Elena. Elena. It just she crawled in there and made herself at home. And she's still there. And she'll always be there. I mean, I may never see her again or hear from her or anything, but she will always be a part of me. And I know, like, I've been doing a lot of kind of depressing stuff recently, and I'm trying to be. I was trying, and now like this one, I this is probably gonna be the last one of that's gonna be this bad. I hope. Um, uh, I know I'm gonna take a break for the weekend because I need to reevaluate a bunch of stuff. Um, there's so many things that I do and have that remind me of her, and I have to decide if I want to even continue uh, studying Russian. Um, it doesn't even like make sense because it's every time I there's words that I say that I said to her and remind me of the smile she had whenever I talked to her in Russian, and she's like, "Oh, you're so cute," and Rocket's digging through his toys, finding a very loud, squeaky toy for us. Uh, oh, he found a crinkly one. So I don't know if you can hear the crinkly going on beside me, but yes. Um, I was on dating apps for a while, past few weeks, and because I was trying to, I hate to say it, I was trying to distract myself from it, and just nothing. It's so depressing because it's like at the age I'm at, my uh, what's it called? Pond is small and sparse. I guess the best way to do it, say it. Um, Even going younger, I was just like some of them. I'm just like I just can't do that. It just doesn't. No. And then the ones that did, comment and like me, I was just like, this is just no. Like, uh, I can't, and I can't. Just it's not fair to anybody because of what I carry in my heart. Like there's no way I can just cut it off, like cut that out and just forget about her and move on. Um, I've been able to move on. Was able to move on quick from. the divorce because it was one of those things of like I knew it was just no, I can't go back to that. Like I don't want to be involved with anybody like that. And it was uh when I met Elena, it just everything made sense of why everything happened the way it did. Because if none of that happened, I would have never met her. If the war in Ukraine never happened, I wouldn't. If uh, I didn't come back here, I would have never met her. And I met her at the time where I needed somebody like that the most. And I'm grateful, just completely grateful of the time I did get to spend with her. I wish it was longer, but um, that's not the way it is sometimes. Um, Usually Fridays are a little bit better. Um, it's Aloha Friday, but today it's no, I can't. I can't even fake being happy or anything, and it's just uh, and I want to speak in Russian, but it hurts. It's like every time I say anything, I think of her because that's where I learned it from. I learned a lot of those very naughty things from her. So, um, I like even thinking about like other women or dating or even talking to other women. I feel like I'm betraying her, and I shouldn't, but I do. It's just so. I don't even have a word for it. I really don't. Like it's and I wish I could have seen her at least one more time. One more hug. Uh Hear her voice one more time. But yeah, I I sorry. My brain just not does not want to cooperate at all. Um I I don't know. I don't even know what I was talking about. But it's just so weird though cuz like well like the time we spent together um every all the time like I found more and more stuff that we had in common. Like we both liked fast cars and motorcycles and driving fast and all that. And we we there was a lot of times we actually sat and talked. Like I mean, I say talked, but it was more like translator apps and things like that. I mean, a lot of times I could speak slowly enough and coherently enough for her to understand. And and there was one time that I opened up to her about stuff that was going on in my head, and she did not even hesitate. She was like, "I understand." Um, she's like, "I love you more for telling me that." And I was so afraid to open up to anybody ever about some of the stuff that goes on in my head. And just that was so reassuring. But yeah, um, I don't have anybody watching, and it sucks because I wish I had somebody to listen live and hear this. And I don't know. It's. I'm gonna keep going though. I have to, because who knows what's around the corner? Who knows what's coming? Um, something might. I might meet somebody else just off the street. Who knows? That'll be. I don't know. I've never met anybody that's even a fraction of her. And a lot of my friends, I told so much about her, like all the stuff that we've done, and just the things that I did for her, or gave her, and all that, and she was so appreciative, and she loved every single thing of that I gave her, that I did, and she's like, you didn't have to do that. I'm like, yeah, I did. And like, I keep thinking of ways to change things, um, like grand gestures or anything like that, and it never, none of it worked, and or I just didn't know. I was like, what am I doing? It's not, nothing's gonna change what happened, what's gonna happen, or what has happened. I Yeah, that was her daughter. Like, her daughter would actually keep in contact with me a little bit. Um, it sucks that she didn't give me a heads up on this, but I understand why. I do. They just, didn't want the hurt. Um, because they've had to do this before. They've had to leave the country that they've had a life in, and yeah, and I don't know where they're going. I don't, like, maybe that's for the best. Maybe that's so I don't try to find them, or I don't think I would. Like, I can't. And she, like, I know she wouldn't even want me. You know, maybe she's already, I don't know. It just, my brain just keeps going a mile a minute on all this stuff, and I can't keep it in check just for a few minutes to have a coherent thought. And I've been like this before, and it was a lot different situation. Nothing like this where, you know I know for a fact, like, there was no question of how much she loved me, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. And trying to figure out how to accept that, and move on with the love for her in my heart and be able to live. It just it's a daunting task. Um, I've never had to experience this in my life. Um, it's just it's unreal. Um, Having so much love with somebody and knowing that we both shared that the same level of love for each other and not being able to do anything about it. Like most of the time when I've been just obsessed and in love with somebody, it's always one sided. It's always like it might start with the same amount, but it always ends up one sided. And I'm left hurting. Um, but this one, it's a different hurt. It's this hurt of not being able to fix it and not being able to um, make that happen. How do you keep going from that? You know, um, knowing that the person that you can't be with loves you as much as you love them, and it just happens that way. I mean, I don't even know. Like it this is going to be a thing that I'm going to have to work on for a while. Like and it's I'm not looking forward to it. I really not. It, like I wish I had somebody to help me through this. Like uh, and it's hard to describe what kind of it's like I wish I had her to help me through this. Pistiet. And a pistiet. I'm trying to think of other stuff to talk about because I don't want to talk like for an hour about this because I'm just gonna not sleep because or maybe I'll sleep better. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I really don't. Like I don't know I don't want to talk about it over and over and over again because I know that's not going to help. And I know keeping it in is not going to help. I don't know. I don't know like how to process this in a good way. And like yeah, maybe I should get a like talk to a therapist about it, but I'm afraid that they'll give me the same things that I read online, all the same stuff. Like you have to like cut out all the stuff that reminds you of them. I'm like, how do you do that when everything you look at reminds you of them? Everything that you do reminds you of them. Like driving in my car or even sitting in my room, listening to music, just listening to music. It doesn't even matter what it is. Um, uh, it's weird. Like just it barely even a year. Like I just say a year, and it feels like a lifetime that we shared in that year. And yeah, I hope that she does end up reaching back out to me. I don't know. Like I'm still going to Europe in September, and I I sent her a message, and she read. I'm like, I'm gonna be near. I don't know where you are gonna be, but I'm gonna be in near there, kinda, um, in September. I didn't say that I would find her. Because that's that would be just probably impossible. You know, um, that rotten dog. So he's the only thing that keeps makes me smile now. Like always, I'm so glad I have him because even if he's over there being just a goof, it just makes me smile that I know I have him. Yeah, it's rough. Um, like I yeah, I thought that I would meet somebody that I would be able to, tolerate for a while and just, you know, experience, the normal thing that I've been used to where, all the love and joy and all that. Oh, you know, by the way, I've been talking to my ex, or just them just leaving because they're like, I'm not happy anymore, or whatever, But and I knew from the beginning that it wasn't gonna be a long thing, you know. But I was hoping that it would be longer than it was, you know. Uh, I mean, I know what everybody searches for. That's for when they're searching for somebody, that connection, that deep sense of love and admiration and support and um, everything. Like I, I I don't even know like how I lived without that. Like she always asked about my day, like what'd you eat today, or how was your day, and all this, and I'm just like, what? Like really? And uh, just there's so many good memories, and the only bad ones that I have are the ones where she was pushing me away, and she was I'm pretty sure she was pushing me away so uh she didn't have to hurt. Um, and it sucks that she had to do that. And I try to keep myself from blaming myself for everything. You know, and like if I had done this different, or if I had done this, or if I whatever. But it's I don't think there's anything I could have done differently. I don't think that there's any way for me to really keep that. I have to think that way because if not, I'll get even more depressed. Be like, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's not. It's not my fault. It's just life. Um, Life sucks. And I try to. you know, think about the good things, you know, but think about the good things. And then I'm like, I'm not going to have that again. And I get, you know, I just start going back down. I love talking about her. And I have nothing but just admiration and respect for that woman. Like being able to do what she had to do to get out of that uh, a war zone with her daughter and come here to a country she didn't even know much about, and just deal with the hardship of, you know, being a refugee in a country like this, you know. And yeah, I'm trying my best not to get political in this because it's I have some very strong opinions and things about uh, all of that, and I I'm not gonna you know say any of that here. It's just not the not the place or the platform to do that. Um, but I I don't know like what to do about anything. Like I try to keep, you know, keep plans and keep, you know, momentum and have plan or have plans about plans. Have a goal, you know. But at the same time, it's like, why even bother having a goal, you know, if you can't share the success with someone? Like, I would really want to have someone to struggle all this with me and reap the rewards of when I succeed. But it, that's just not the way it is. Everybody just wants, they want the end. They want the success. They want that part. They don't want the struggle. They just want the easy way. And that's not the way it is. It's not. You you have to suffer. You have to try different things and do this and do that just to, and then hopefully one day you do succeed, you know, without being like really old when you do, you know. But and I'm rambling just trying to keep myself on a different topic, really. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. As my mind just keeps going back to them. Yeah, like maybe one day I won't, you know, uh I won't like I'll still think about them, but I won't be like completely uh just handicapped by it. Cuz like now, like right now it's just like I had hoped to run into them one more time. But of course, I know what would happen, you know, run into them one time, maybe being able to talk and have hugs and goodbyes or whatever, and still want more and still be like, I want one more time, one more time, one more time. And I think that's the real reason why I didn't ever hear from her or never saw her again. Um, After that one time, I showed up her at her house because she didn't want to see me again and have that pain of having to say goodbye. And like nobody likes goodbyes. Nobody, you know, it's always like, oh, you know, don't like goodbyes. I'll see you next time or something like that. But sometimes that goodbye is the last goodbye. I've had a few of those, and every one of them is different. But this one is this one will stick with me for a long time. Like knowing that you had found someone that really matched everything, everything with you, and knowing that it's impossible. As she said, it's impossible. I always told, oh, nothing's impossible if you put your mind to it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wish it was like that. Like, you know, really figure, like, sit down and figure out how to make it work, or how to do something that wasn't possible. Maybe there was. Maybe there is. Who knows? Maybe there's something around the corner that I'm not seeing, that it just, everything just opens up. And maybe that's being optimistic. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be optimistic, because you be optimistic and then it doesn't happen. Then you're like, well, crap. I mean, I guess you can be optimistic without expecting it at a certain time. Can I do that? Hmm. Another thing to ponder on for a while. Um, and it, like, now trying to focus back on, doing what I need to do for myself. And it's still, it feels, what's the word? Selfish and pointless at the same time. Like, I know, I need to, you know, focus on myself and focus on, you know, doing better for me, but without having that, reward at the end, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to put it. But, like, sitting there and wondering if I do this and this and this, that I will find her at the end, or whoever. And then thinking, oh, like, if I can do it quicker, maybe I can find that at the end quicker. But is that the way it's supposed to work? You know, is that fate, or is that divine intervention, or, um, the Terminator theory of, there's no fate, it's what we make, or something like that. I can't remember that thing, but yeah, you know, I I got all these scenarios in my head. I could do this and that and that, and I'm like, no, I can't. It's not that those things are impossible. It's just dumb, dumb ideas, uh, ideas that are, like, not fully developed. And, if I went for them, I would, it would not turn out well, more than likely. Like, so I had matched with, someone on one of those dating apps, and I had asked them a question like a couple days ago, and they never replied. I was like, all right, whatever. Well, tonight, right before I got on, I messaged them back. I'm like, hey, I don't think you're interested in, this. But I do have to be, I have to say, my heart is, with someone else anyway. And she just left for Ukraine. And I think so, but I didn't put that part. And I said, I hope you all the best. And I got a reply, like, almost like maybe a couple minutes later. She's like, you know, thank you. I hope the best for you as well. So, you know, I maybe they knew about it, you know, because they were Ukrainian too. So uh, just how it happened with me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I need to go to towards Germans. I don't know. I'm trying to make a joke. I'm trying. It's not working. Yeah. So, but um, I just got finished deleting all of them again. I just I get bored and I'm like, oh, let me see. And then I see the same people in there that I saw 2 years ago. Um, some of them with different pictures, but I remember, and I'm like, oh, that's sad. Some of them have a little bit different stories. Like, yep, I'm back on here again. I'm like, yeah, that's how it happens. And some of them, it's like, I swipe right on them, and I'm like, well, see, you're still here. So, but I'm here again as well. So I'm just as bad, but I can't. I need to figure out a way to lock it so I can't download those, like restrict them or something. I don't know. Maybe there's a way, but I'll figure out a way to get by it. I don't know. But I just can't. I can't, you know, look at those and wonder if I can find someone like her. And you can't like there's no way for me to know without meeting all these people, and I can't even get to that point. I can't get to the point of meeting them and engaging with them. Texting just it sucks. Because I mean, I could sit there and like bombard them with questions and scenarios and things like that, trying to get a read on them, but yeah, I've tried that too, and it just ends up they ghost me or they just unmatch, and I'm like, oh well, all right, well I can't do that. So, but maybe they weren't, you know, I don't know, like I don't know. Uh, I just I know I can't put the kind of effort that you need to put in to do that, to meet people and things like that. Like it was with her, it was easy. Like it sounds bad saying that, but it like she just answered the questions right, and I answered her questions right, and it just everything clicked like right, and like it was meant to be. It was fated, or that kind of thing again. Still, like I still, if I knew what was going to happen, I would have still met her that day. I would have still done the same exact thing. Maybe you just hugged her a little bit longer that one last time. I don't know. Like, even with all the pain I have right now, I'm happy that I had that. I am so grateful that I got to experience what we had. And I know for the rest of my life, I will be trying to find that again. And I'm just afraid and scared and um, just completely just depressed, I guess, that I think I'll never have that again. I will never have that connection with anybody ever again. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna tell you about her. That's gonna be my last 10 minutes because I I need to do at least an hour of this. I'm not gonna go any longer than that. Her name was Elena Bondarenko. She was 45, and she was when she was in Ukraine, she was a captain for Ukraine Navy reserves. Uh, she had a daughter, Tatiana, Tati. They were both so smart, like just amazingly smart, especially Tati. She graduated early from high school, and she knew 3 languages and was working on a fourth. And Elena was she wasn't very good at English. Uh, she just couldn't grasp it. Um, and some days it was worse than others, but we always could communicate. We could always understand each other. And we we talked about all kinds of stuff, like living together, and I had dreams of us living together with Tanya and coming home. And she was an amazing woman, or is an amazing woman. Like I was so happy to be around her. I didn't care what we were doing. She would be like, "Oh, well, I have to go shopping." I'm like, "I'll go with you." Like all three of us would hop in the car and go shopping. I would just walk around, and I would just be happy just being there. And she would look at me. She's like, "Why are you so happy about this?" I'm like, I just like spending time with you. That's it. I don't care what we're doing. It just felt right when I was with her and Tanya. Like it was just amazing. Um, we never had a dull moment. I was never like, well, I gotta go. I'm bored out of my mind. Like we could be sitting there doing nothing. Look, all three of us looking at our phones or watching TV or whatever. And I was like, this is right. Like, how do you get over or move on from something like that, where everything? It just felt there was no like doubts. There was no thoughts to be like, I don't know if I can handle like doing this every day for the rest of my life. It was like, no, I get to do this for the rest of my life. I was excited about it. I was excited just to do mundane things with her. You know, I like sitting there watching her clean or cook or anything like that. I was just, because she was smiling while she was doing, she was happy. Um, she'd be listening to Ukrainian music, kind of dancing around. I'm just like, this is just wonderful. Yeah. So, um, I don't know if I can talk anymore about her, um, because it's really getting to me. I really needed her right now to help me through this. And I've said that before. Because she always knew what to say to calm my brain. I'd be stressed out about something. I would tell her, it just works. Get to me. There's this car or whatever, and she's like, "You're smart. You'll figure it out." And I was like, "You're right. I am smart." Just not on everything like this. I'm just dumb. I mean, how am I supposed to open my heart up again, knowing that I experienced what to me was perfection? There is nothing I wanted to change about the way we were with each other. Didn't, I wish I could have had spent more time with her, but that's just the way it is, Um, but as like I was happy whenever I did get to see her. Um, I again, I don't know how to uh, articulate everything that's going on in my head right now, and trying to still stay productive in society and go to work and do everything I need to do. It just, I don't know. I wouldn't say like I feel like it's pointless. It's just like it's just this. It feels like this bigger task than it is. It feels like it's going to take everything I have to just keep going. And I'm not saying that I want to give up and just roll over and die. It's just like I want something that like shows me or I can tell, that's what I'm going for. That right there. Something I can see that, you know, that I'm working for. And I don't have anything. I don't have a, a end goal, like there's stuff I want to do because I want to do this and this and this, but at the end of it, it's like, well, where where am I trying to do all this stuff to get to? Like where's the reward? But like where is the that thing I'm working towards? Yeah. So I have a lot to think about, and a lot to work on, and it's not going to be fun. Um, but I do have to thank all my friends though that um, are there for me and that have helped me in the past and that are worried about me. I know everybody's worried about me. I know everybody didn't reach out because they don't want to hear it's not like they don't want to hear about this, but they're like, you know, they don't want to encourage me or I don't know. I don't know the reason, but I understand you have your reasons. You have just whatever it is. But I know at the end of the day, there's everybody that is close to me would drop everything if I really needed them. And I thank you for that. Um, but I'm gonna have to end this because I'm just gonna end up like blubbering like an idiot here in a few minutes, and I need to um, think about a few things before I go to bed, try to work through this a little bit so I can go to work tomorrow So, happy Friday, Aloha Friday. Thanks for watching. Hopefully next week it'll be a little bit better, a little bit more upbeat. If I can kind of get to that point. But I'll see you on Monday. I hope everybody has a nice, safe weekend with all this rain. But yeah, that's it. Good night. See y'all next time.